So here's the thing about Erin Moriarty, aka Annie's Starlight January from The Boys. She is a fantastic actress who's honestly doing some of her best work on The Boys this season and has shown so much growth in both her acting ability and range. But nobody's talking about her performance. They're too focused on discussing whether or not she's had plastic surgery. Seriously. Like, you can't go to a single video clip of her or any interview from this season and actually discuss the show because people are too busy trying to point out how terrible she looks after she may have had work done on her face. The best example I've seen is comments on the clip where Starlight looks at her former self in her old uniform on a computer. Every single comment was about how the writers did this on purpose, looking at her old face and crying because she messed it up, the writers are ruthless, etc. Not even considering what the scene was actually trying to say about Annie's character changing from the hero she saw herself when she entered the Seven, and focusing entirely on whether or not Erin Moriarty had elective surgery. And get this? It's not even confirmed. Erin herself has denied that she's gotten any sort of surgery, and people are still discussing it when that should have been the end. They're acting like she looks like some sort of alien, when quite honestly, I probably wouldn't have even noticed anything if these people hadn't brought it up. The pictures that they use for comparison always show Erin in heavy makeup, like heavy makeup, and they never choose any candid photos of her just hanging out. Like, look at this one of her on the set of season 4 just hanging out. This one for a profile in a magazine. She looks completely normal, not like she has had any work done at all. Who knows why she looks a little bit different this season? Maybe she's just lost a little bit of weight, but newsflash? It's none of our business. Whether she had surgery and lied about it or not, it's none of our concern to know, and when she said that she didn't have surgery, that should have been the end of it. And you definitely shouldn't be having page-long discussions about it in the comments section of videos that have nothing to do with that topic. I want to talk about The Boys here, okay? I'm tired of talking about Erin's face. And if she says she didn't, I'm inclined to believe her. I don't like making assumptions. Sometimes, as well, these people will straight up make things up about her performance this season. I saw some people say that she can barely move her face anymore, or that she's slurring her words, when that is just not the case. She is giving her most textured performance out of all the seasons, and all the rage and pain she's able to convey is likely the broadest range of emotions we've seen from her thus far. And the slurring her words thing, come on. I'm gonna put a couple lines back to back to show that there's no difference in how she speaks.
I've never seen your place or your job. You're kind of a mystery to me.
No, they look up to Starlight. They look up to the suit.
You're the one who wore it.
I mean, just please stop making broad assumptions about someone's personal life and choices from tiny differences you thought you noticed or something somebody else posted on social media. It is not helping anyone. On Reddit, I saw a discussion about how the show put millions of dollars and effort in makeup and special effects to make her face look as normal as possible, with no source. Like, hey, are you gonna tell us where you got this random ass info, or are we just making stuff up to uphold the belief we already have that Erin had surgery? Side note, trying to comment on how horrible society is for making women do this, and then going further to say that she ruined her face, might be playing into the issue you're trying to condemn, especially if she's telling the truth and she hasn't had any work done. I mean, you're talking about society giving people self-esteem issues? The entire internet is basically chasing after this girl to tell her that she looks terrible for no good reason. She literally had to take a break from social media because it was getting so bad, and she still doesn't let most people comment on her Instagram anymore. I can't imagine the pain she's going through, and I feel so awful that people are putting her through this and not focusing on her performance from this season in the slightest capacity. And, by the way, why is this conversation even still going on? It'd be one thing if there was an uproar at one time and then it faded off, but people have been harping on this for months. What is the issue you have? What do you gain from taking down and insulting the appearance of an innocent woman who is just trying to give her best performance in a really important show? Seriously, I'm genuinely curious. It honestly baffles me. I really don't mean to, accuse people of being intentionally vicious, but just take a step back and consider who this is helping when you say these things, because it's certainly isn't helping Erin. And To give you guys some clear guidelines about why I think Erin is giving her best performance yet, because I've said that quite a few times, let's review Annie's journey this season thus far and point out some specific scenes where I felt she just totally nailed it and displayed the most intense emotion we've seen from her character yet. She starts the season in an extremely high place. She's left the Seven, she's helping the boys, successfully running the Starlight house to save at-risk teens, and doing what she's always wanted to do: truly help other people. But over the course of the first 4 episodes, she is completely rattled and taken down from her higher up position. She thinks that Starlight is a way to masquerade as a hero, but she's forced back into the position anyway, even though she's not comfortable and doesn't see herself as Starlight anymore. She tries to break free, but she doesn't really get to craft her own identity in the public eye. And you can tell when she visits Firecracker, she feels that she's really going to be able to get through to her, and that her new position allows her to take big swings. Instead, Firecracker reminds her of an incident in her past that shakes Annie's sense of identity. She doesn't really remember who she is anymore, or if she's worthy to see herself, that is, Annie January, as the hero she thought she was. After Firecracker tells her about how she ruined her career in pageantry, and that she had said such vicious things behind her backs that were not even true, it's hard for her to see herself the same way. She thought she had overcome the toxic world of Vought and risen above it all, only to find that she had spread toxicity herself when she was younger. And yes, she has changed, but she's not sure if she's completely overcome that ruthlessness that pageantry had taught her. Evidenced by how she's unable to keep her cool when Firecracker publicly paints her as a bad person, Starlight has been taught that image is everything, and while she's turned her back on her past and what her mother put her through, she hasn't completely forgotten what she was taught. She was impulsive when she told everyone lies about Firecracker to help herself win the pageant all those years ago, and she was impulsive beating up Firecracker after she outed her medical records today. This is one scene, also though, I love to cite for Erin's performance this season: the unbridled rage she is able to display when she is marching out of the Starlight house and up to Firecracker is palpable. The tension in her jaw, the narrowing of her brow, the pursing of her lips, it's all conveying exactly what she's feeling, which is pure, unadulterated rage. I love the look she gives Firecracker before she starts beating up on her. She just tries to look down on her and say, "I am completely done with all your bullshit and I am just going to punch you." And she conveyed that emotion perfectly. And now, after episode 4, she's in an even darker place. With everyone at the Starlight house abandoning her because of her rage-fueled beatdown, she has nothing left to tie herself to that hero she saw herself as. There's specifically a scene where she sits alone in Starlight house watching a Firecracker piece on television, and in this scene, she's able to display the sorrow behind all of that rage. Her eyes are dim, full of tears, and dark, and her face is filled with shock. When she looks around, she takes a moment and visibly gulps as she begins to mourn what she has lost there. Everything she built has come crashing down in a single instant. And saying that her face is frozen in one expression is such a mistake, as the pain she's feeling in this scene is so obvious and discernible. But don't get me wrong, she is still feeling all of that rage from the situation. She knocked Newman flat on the ground when she knows that she could pop her head in 2 seconds flat. She's not thinking. She's acting irrationally and falling back on that instinct that comes from insecurity. Once again, thank you, children's pageantry. Again, Erin's acting in this scene is incredible. I've never been afraid of Starlight before. Been afraid of Butcher. I've even been afraid of Huey a couple times, but I've never been afraid of Starlight. But seeing her take such huge swings with such confidence and fury in her face, not being able to be held back and just staring forward with nothing but red in her eyes, does frighten me a bit. She's on edge, and she's been compared to Butcher in the past. We've never actually seen her show that side of herself, and I don't know what she's going to do next. And thank God for Erin Moriarty for being able to perfectly portray how unhinged Starlight is becoming this season. Hey, I'm not afraid to say it. I love Starlight, but she is going a little bit off the rails here, and I'm worried about where her arc will take her in the coming episodes. Like I said before, I don't mean to accuse anyone or be super rude or say that anyone's being a terrible person. I just think we all need to take a step back and chill. But if you enjoyed this video, consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/PosiTVty. That's PosiTVty. There you get all these videos early. You get the unedited video essays way before they hit YouTube, and you get to choose what you want to see on the channel. So it's a great way to support us, but it's also a really great way to get extra content for yourself from us, and it starts for as little as $1. So go ahead and check out Patreon if you want more content from us, and we will see you guys for the next video. Let me know what I should discuss, whether it be from The Boys or any other show I like to cover, or any other show you'd like me to cover. Feel free, I'm open to suggestions. But that is all for this time, and I will see you guys for the next video. Bye-bye!